happiness here and now. That's why you see that I say keep smiling. If I say keep crying, will you cry? So we hold back. We hold back. It's a beautiful verse from this master. We are still in the first chapter, and the master is explaining the very nature of the reality we are. When I say real self, what is that real self? So now the master is saying to the seeker, Eko vishuddha bodhoham iti nishchaya vahinana. You are pure awareness, nothing less, nothing more. That is your real nature. Have that conviction and start living your life. How to reach to that? When I say happiness is here and now, how to reach to that? I give a couple of examples. The earth is one, but divided by how many countries? Maybe 196 or 199 countries, 200, something like that. Earth still remains one and only one. Still we see the divisions. Here is USA, here is India, here is China, here is Mexico. But earth remains one. Now ask yourself, how do we see the earth is one? It is absolute truth. Can I see the earth as one through my sense organ? No, I cannot see it. Sense have a limited range. Then I will relate it to this verse. I do not see the earth as one, but I see it through the mind. Same thing, same example. The waves are many, but what is inside the wave? The water is always one. Similarly, we may find that we are different, but the consciousness that is present in all of us is one, cannot be divided. The way the earth cannot be divided. But who divides? You see the beauty of this master is so rational and logical, but our intellect and the mind has to be pure. Pure means it should be focused and it should be aware what we are looking for. Then happiness is here and now. Similarly, the consciousness is one. Now ask yourself, who am I? It is awareness. So when I ask a question, who am I, and the consciousness, are they two or one? Master says they are essentially one. If I am not conscious, I will never ask this question, who am I? The way the earth is one, but still we see the earth is divided into more than or about 200 countries. But who divides? Can you guess? And there you get a solution. It is the world, the language that divides, but still it remains undivided. It remains undivided. Do you see that? It remains one water, still the world divides by giving a name and the shape. A small wave, tsunami, flood, clouds, water drops. Do you see that? The water remains the water. Can I see that? Can I see that in everyday life? at every moment in my life. Our master says that is why the science can never get to the soul of meditation. Why? Because the science cannot prevent division. Ask yourself, what is your body? Now the body has 9 systems, circulatory system, motor organ. You see that? Science has started dividing. It cannot perceive as a whole. Meditation takes us to integral perception. That does not mean that our masters were not aware of the science. Now ask the next question. Why I don't feel and experience that oneness? Why don't I feel that I am the pure consciousness? Why don't I feel? Why don't I experience? The outer layer of the mind is full of thoughts, images, objects. It prevents us to go deeper. Did you understand that? So, but that is what the master says. It is ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is, I was talking to Shelby yesterday, it is incomplete knowledge. What is incomplete knowledge about who am I? That I am the teacher. I am only the teacher until the session continues. The moment the session ends, where is the teacher in this body? There is no teacher. There is no father. There is no mother. There is no seeker. There is no student. In the language, we have USA on the map. But the earth is one. In the language, in the world, we have India, we have China, we have other countries. But earth is one, can never be divided. And the moment you divide, our mind is divided, it has a divided perception, it enters into ignorance, and the ignorance causes the suffering. That is the problem we have. That is why we need to practice meditation. Did we understand? Are you getting it? So the teachings by the different masters, as I have been telling, there are 3,000 teachers and we have more than 3,000 texts. So the very essential teaching is conveyed depending on the temperament and the individual level of awareness. Mother came crying to Buddha, my son died. I have heard a lot about you. You are an enlightened master. Please make my son alive. You see, in the marketplace, we have those teachers. Okay, I will do it. Oh, you have a problem? I will solve your problem. Take this rosary, do this. And I don't want to name. In our country also, we have a lot of those things. The moment you depend on somebody to solve your problem, you are gone. So anyhow, the Buddha told the mother, go to your village, knock every door and ask if no one has died in their house, I will make your son alive. Nobody's. First go. See the teaching. The Buddha wanted to remove that ignorance. The one who dies, one who takes the birth, the body takes the birth, body has to die. But what does not die in me is totally different. You see that? During the last 100 years, the same earth has been divided into many other parts, so the number of the countries have increased, but the earth remained one. Earth remained one. Can I contemplate and reflect into that? My consciousness, my real nature cannot be divided. The way upon the earth we have many countries, on that consciousness we have different layers of our superficial nature. We are father, mother, son, daughter. We are the body, mind, intellect, thoughts, feelings, sensations. But deeper inside there is only one consciousness. Once you realize that, you live in meditation, you walk in meditation, you think in meditation, you live in meditation, you sleep in meditation. Means what? You are constantly in touch with that permanent state of the happiness. So the mother returned to Buddha, and mother said that I did not find any home in this village where no one died. So Buddha told the mother that, is your son special? Was your son special? Or are you a special mother? Then Buddha asked her, go back when you were not married. You were single. Did you have the son? No. After married, you have the son? Yes. One day your body will also leave you? Yes. And mother, calm down. That is another way to find the reality. World is constantly changing. And what is this world? World outside is different, not different than my body, my mind, my breath, my intellect, my thoughts. Can I go behind? Can I go beyond all the structure of the thoughts that has divided our life? The moment we do it, we are already in that state of pure consciousness. And then what happens? What is the nature of that pure consciousness? It is permanent happiness. What is known as permanent happiness in our tradition? It is known as Ananda. The Sanskrit word Ananda means, A means all sides. Nanda means joy. There is a joy from all the sides. There is an earth from all the sides. There is a space from all the sides. We have divided into our homes. This is one home, body, known as Girish. There is another home, David. There is another home, Shelby. There is another home, Sam, Jerry, Stephen. But can the space be divided? So the Master is pointing us that you are one consciousness, pure consciousness beyond the body, name, and the form. There are two parts in this verse. That is also very important, and then we will go for practice. You see that practice is not required, and still we have to do the practice. There are two parts. One is that if our mind does not separate real from the unreal, the meditation will never happen. In my mind, I have to separate. I have to separate the body on that consciousness, US on that earth, India on that earth. Do you see that? Do you see that? Because if I leave the name in the world of US and India and China, Mexico and other, what remains is the earth. First thing, that in my mind I have to see that separation. The moment you see that separation, every thought comes to the mind and you say, that's okay. My master used to say, "O mind, be at peace, this will also pass." So whenever anyone comes with the stray of grief and the stress and anxiety, he said, close your eyes. Any thought comes, tell your mind, "O mind, be at peace, this will also pass." And see that thought will disappear from your mind. What remains? Only the pure consciousness. So first thing, I must in my mind. So when you are a seeker, you can easily separate it. What thought comes? I am stressed. This is a thought. Let it. I am sensitive. This is a thought. I am crazy. This is a thought. I am good. This is a thought. Are you getting it? So when you have that penetrating awareness, you separate all the thoughts from the field of the consciousness. What remains is pure consciousness. The second part is also very important. Once I understand it clearly that earth is one, countries are different, consciousness is one, body, mind, breath, intellect, thoughts are different. They are many, but that depends on only one consciousness. We need a belief after understanding. What is that belief? I have a clear understanding. Without consciousness, nothing exists. Without earth, no country can exist. Without space, no, not my home, not your home exist. Without water, wave, foam, they do not exist. So the master here says, once you have a clarity and conviction, now ask your mind to believe in that space, that earth, that consciousness, that water. Why? Why should I believe it? There is a clarity. One earth, one space. Why should I believe it? First is separation. Why separation? So my mind should not go to those things that divides me here and now. And the belief that earth is one, that consciousness is one. So when I hold my mind on that awareness, what happens? I am happy here and now. This is what the master is saying. Eko vishuddha bodhoham iti nishchaya vahinanam. So if I translate that, he says, burn down the forest of ignorance with the fire of understanding. You see the metaphor they are using? Burn down the forest of ignorance in me. Where? In my mind. With the fire of understanding. What is that understanding? That I am one pure consciousness and be happy. And be happy. And free from all the stress and the suffering. Can you see one consciousness which goes into the mind? You become the listener, I become the speaker. But behind that consciousness is one. Okay, leave that consciousness. Behind the listener and speaker, the mind is one. Do you see that? Leave that mind also. The body is essentially one, appears different from outside. We have given a different name. David, Girish, Sam, Stephen. But it is only one. Can I live into that consciousness all the time? Last thing that I have talked differently many a times, when you are saying that we all are one, then how should I work? How should I work with my honey or my friend or my... Play your role. Play your role. The moment you are before your honey, become a wonderful wife or a husband. Before you are before in front of your son. Be a good father. Be a good mother. Play your role of a mother. Finished. You remain untouched. The way the earth remains untouched. You may divide the earth into 500 countries, still the earth remains untouched. Same thing, we remain untouched at that level of consciousness all the time, 24/7. You are not touched by the sleep, you are not touched by the waking state, you are not touched by the dream state, you are not touched by the role you play as a father, mother, son, daughter, teacher, seeker. Finished. You live into that awareness. And that, living into that one pure consciousness is nothing but meditation. That state of meditation awakens you to that state. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. There was some issues in India, that's why our Indian friends did not join us today. So eyes are closed. One. You are aware that awareness is different from eyes and closing your eyes. You see that you are playing a role. It's a fun and play. Meditation is a fun and play, my friends. Nothing less than that, nothing more than that. Become aware of the body. Body is a word. Steadiness is a word. Awareness is behind. If there is no awareness, how can I recognize here is your body, here is the steadiness in the body? You see that? The word, language. Do not touch that consciousness. So look inside the head, in the space. Mind is facing within. What did I say? Mind is facing within and you are aware of the space inside. Look at a point in the space. You see how the instruction helps your mind to separate the world outside and inside. You're not doing anything. The word, the language that created duality and division, you are using the same word to drop that duality and a division. That much. Belief and separation. Moving through awareness. You are a seeker, you will definitely enter into that state. Being comfortable. So I use the term being comfortable. Looking at the neck joint. So we'll go a little deeper without doing anything. So what it means by when I say look at the neck joint. The mind is looking the neck joint. Neck joint is an object. It is matter. Be there. And then you move at a subtler level. How? When I say experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. make sure we are not doing anything. In this journey, in this teaching by the Master, Master says the moment you enter into this concept of doing something, then you will miss. It does not mean, but there is another tradition, depending on the temperament of the people. That is what I gave on Mondays and Thursdays, and to individual people who come to me. Now look at the shoulder joint. Shoulder joint is an object, part of the body. The moment the mind recognizes that I am moving to the part of the body, let me leave this, feel, and move into one sensation, one comfort, one steadiness. Can you divide the steadiness into parts? Can you divide the comfort into parts? Can you divide the sensation into the parts? Just be aware of that. You need not to do anything. Then look at the hip joint. Who is looking? You are aware. One day my master said, enough is enough. You want to practice meditation? Yes. So he told all of us that look at, find out, be aware who wants to meditate in you. And you are done. That blown our mind. Similarly, we are doing the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, looking at all the joints, being aware of all the joints, feeling, sensation, being comfortable, sensation, and steadiness, my friends. I gave you the two clues. One is separation, the other is belief. Belief based on conviction, not blind belief. Do you have a conviction earth is one? Yes. So the next so-called the step is, what is that step? Being carefree. Thought, feeling, sensation, all experiences takes place in the mind. I feel pain in the body, experience takes place in the mind. You are already aware of anesthesia. Disconnect the mind from a particular part of the body, you don't feel. So, we separate ourselves from all the experiences coming from the world outside. That is the meaning of being carefree. Then how to understand that and become aware? Like the birds flying where? In the sky of a mind, of a mental space. Let the birds fly. So you see that these birds are separate from the sky. That is the mind. One is the surface mind, other is the deeper mind. Another example, metaphor, simile. You have the ripples in the water on the surface of an ocean. Deep inside, it is the same water, no ripples. Water is calm. I make it another simile which is more physical. Sometimes it goes deep into the mind. You're standing across a road and watching the traffic. Traffic is always separate from you. Traffic is a thought. This is what is being carefree. How can I show you physically? The earth is one. Why we have divided into so many countries? But can I see in the field of awareness, that awareness is knowledge. That I am is awareness, and knowledge is that I am awareness. So I am one awareness. This is what the Master is saying, my friends. Then, being casual, natural. What is being natural? Whatever is natural, can you make unnatural? No. So I have to be simply aware. I need not to make any effort. Now looking again at the head and the neck. Be there. Feel sensation, relaxation, stillness. Look inside the head and the neck. The mind finds that it is too far from the world outside. So when you discover the sensation inside the head and the neck, I say it is the state of the calmness. And the space within is the state of quietness. Let me make you understand so that there will be a conviction. Look at the right arm. Means you are aware of the right arm. You're not scanning it. Scanning is different. Scanning means you're making an effort. You're aware of the right arm, feeling, sensation, relaxation, stillness. So when you experience the stillness in the right arm, not the stillness of. The moment you do the stillness of, you are making an effort. And in this journey, we have not to make an effort at all. So this stillness in the body, in the right arm, is the first indicator in the mind that the mind is not moving out. We need to separate what is outside and inside. Then we look inside the right arm. The sensation is calmness. So I define the calmness where the thoughts are too far. You are aware of those crazy thoughts and feeling and the sensation and the past and the memories. But it is too far. You are able to maintain the status quo of the calmness. Then you are aware of the space. That is quietness. Now quietness means thoughts are too far. You don't recognize them. You don't want to recognize them. I believe you got it. Left arm, awareness. In that field of awareness, you experience sensation, relaxation, stillness, and then inside, can I say on your behalf calmness and quietness? Yes. Do you see the stillness in the body? Comes because of something deeper. The mind is not making an effort at all. What will happen then? You will be able to separate any and every experience taking place in the mind. And when you are able to separate, you are already free. Then you can take a right decision. in your personal, professional, social life. Looking at the rib cage, awareness of the rib cage. So see the goal where we are reaching. One thought comes to my mind. The very goal has to be 100% clear. If pure consciousness is my nature, real nature, then mind you must absorb into, merge into that real nature, so that your craziness will go away forever. That is our goal. I'm explaining every bit of mechanism, the process, the method. So look inside the heart. The moment you look inside, common element, sensation, calmness, space, quietness. Belly, outside, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Inside. You see, sometimes you may feel that I give the same step, but our approach is different. Meditation is one, approaches are many, depending on your temperament, your level. So inside the belly there is calmness and quietness. Where is USA on the earth? Which side it is? So mind instantly understand north, south, east, west. You say North America. Now ask yourself, is there something that we can say north, south, east and west? It is a matter of convenience, so that we can communicate in a language. America is on the north of the earth. So can I drop all the matter of convenience through the mind to find my true nature? I'm not saying anything, just you know it. You are already there. But mind says, no, I don't want to believe. That is ignorance. And that is our next step. Become aware of the world, just world around you. The room, the sitting place, items in the room. Who is looking? The mind. How the mind is looking? By recognition and dividing the objects. That is our physical mind. So now we are helping our mind to understand the way the mind is behaving, so that we can go deeper. That is all. So, physical mind becomes aware of the physical world, the transactional reality. Physical mind realizes, here is my honey, here is my money, here is my pleasure, here is my pain. Now let us go a little deeper. Look at the physical body. The same mind says the body is alive. But the body is made up of matter. It's a fact, it's a truth. Carbs, fat, protein, organic, inorganic material. So the first wrong perception created by the mind. Let us go little deeper. Deeper than the body, we encounter with the breath. Keep looking at the breath going in and out in the state of stillness in the body, the relaxation and the calmness and the quietness in the body. In that state of the quietness, you are looking at the breath. That is why we say purify the mind. Then only you can succeed in any meditation. Every master in our tradition says. So you are looking at the breath. Is the mind looking at the world outside? Is same the mind looking at the breath? In one way it is the same, but in other way it is the subtle mind that is looking at the breath. Because the world is perceived by the mind through the sense organs. What we are doing, we are making the mind subtle, so that it merges and we are there. You're looking at the breath. Check who is looking at the breath, the subtle mind. Physical mind instantly creates a shape, size, color, smell, fragrance, all 5 sense organs. Subtle mind knows no need to allow any interference of these 5 sense organs. Let us go a little deeper. Deeper than the breath are our experiences, thoughts, feelings, sensation, images, past, projection of the past into the future, current state. All experiences are happening in the mind. Is it a subtler mind? Yes, subtler. Then the mind was looking the breath, subtler. Then the mind was aware of the body, subtler. Then the mind was aware of the world. Do we need to do anything? It is a beauty of this teaching of this master. As I feel happy to be bound by the teaching naturally from the masters, do you feel you are bound by the belief, separation in the field of awareness? And if that is there, then you are there. I cannot go out of the teaching. But that is my freedom. Do you find that freedom? Now what is subtler? Go a little deeper. Then all your experiences. What is left? Nothing is there. Emptiness. One way we say emptiness. The other way we say no object is there behind all our experiences. Another way we say objectless state. And one master says that, what it says? The very object merges into the mind. Object of meditation. And the meditation and the meditator, all the three merges. Objectless state. But there is an awareness. Personal awareness through the mind. Impersonal awareness without the mind. Without the mind, objectless state. Everything is happening outside. It is very clear. Here is US, here is China, here is India, here is Mexico, here is Canada. But I'm also aware it is one earth under that. It is one awareness inside. Even when we recognize these countries, we still are fully aware of one earth. One consciousness is always there. Even when the mind recognizes, here is the body, the breath, my experiences, my honey, and my relations and my thoughts, the mind says, I will continue to live with the reality, and from that reality, I will start living, working, and acting in my life. You live and work in meditation, through meditation. Yes, some people will find it joyful. You see that the mind is still looking for an object to meditate upon. That is the greatest barrier. That is the greatest helper. So let us make it as a helper. Look at the breath that is going in and out. Very good. Look at, feel the sensation of the breath. No change. Done. Now add the fourth point. Where the movement of the breath is happening. Without the space, nothing can happen. So maintain awareness of the space on which the breath is moving. Feeling sensation in the body or at the nose. So we are using the breath awareness as a tool to refer to one consciousness. What is that? Space. Live into that state. Do nothing. You're already doing nothing. Live into that state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness or the mind on the right hand, be there, experience the change. Bring your mind to the left hand. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll learn from our experiences, and after that, if you have any questions. Sam is smiling. How are you, Sam?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was smiling because a few interesting things happened today. Obviously, David, Girish, well, Stephen know this, but I'm a bilateral amputee. I wear prosthetics to walk. And one thing that was interesting when we were doing the body checks was I was able to feel all of the nerves in my feet again as if they were there, wiggling my toes, moving around my ankles. It wasn't there, which was really cool.
Good.
Interesting, yeah. And then there was just a nice blanket of warmth I had while we were meditating. And I was just sitting here with no thoughts other than, wow, I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm just hanging out. And that was, I think, probably the first time since we've done this I've actually not had any thoughts, any movement, and just completely content.
Beautiful.
And nothing was even trying to enter my headspace. So
you see that? Quiet mind is a happy mind.
Yeah.
So even if you are hanging with your friends, keep the mind quiet to remain happy inside.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful understanding. We must understand. Not a blind, faith, okay, you have given me, you have a long beard, so you are a great meditator. No way. So that should not happen. We should follow the intellect and the practice. Wonderful. So, how are you, Stephen?
I'm good. A great message. I enjoyed the lesson. It resonated with me from the moment that you said, let's start the practice. It all just connected. To me, the whole meditation was a quiet mind. That was the perfect words that you chose for it. There was no thoughts whatsoever. There were times in which I felt myself just checking in and saying, okay, I'm in meditation. I hear Girish's voice. I have a quiet mind, and that makes me very happy.
Beautiful.
And it just to the very end. So
that's a beautiful. Now we should always ask this question 24/7, especially in a waking state. Ask your mind, is my mind quiet? And then start living into that state. Why? Quiet mind is a happy mind. Even there is too much of noise. You are in a store, thousands of people are there. You are in a mob, still your mind can remain quiet. That is what the art of meditation is. So, how are you, Shelby?
I feel good. I feel like my body was really heavy.
That's good.
It became heavier throughout, and I just felt a sense of calm. And then there's a point where it's as if like my body doesn't exist. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's a beautiful. Yes, that makes a sense. No countries actually exist. It exists in the form of a word, in a language. You see that? Just see that. Similarly, this body, this breath, this mind, this intellect exist for the sake of transactional reality, like the waves. One aspect is very important, and you are young, so that's why I must give you another message. It does not mean that, oh, the body does not exist, so I'm free. No, that's a wrong approach. The moment we are living in the material world, the body is matter. So we start acting and behaving in the same way, the way the matter behaves. But definitely this is a deeper experience when you see the body as if does not exist. US as if does not exist on the earth, as if. But for transactional reality, let us live there. So now our life is not supported by the ego sense. It is supported by the one consciousness. That is what the meditation is. How are you, David and Jerry? A lot of people could not join. I think, this is a new link. But anyhow, that is what happens. Yes, David.
Very, very great meditation for me. The message was excellent. But what I found at the beginning is I was noticing these thoughts and they were like weighing me down. So I said, I'm going to get rid of these thoughts. And I started getting rid of them. And it was like a hot air balloon. I just got lighter and lighter and lighter. Lighter. And then the rest of it was just very light. There was zero thoughts. And I thought this meditation was like 6 minutes long.
That is another beautiful experience. Whether you say that, you see that I see the same message by the Shelby and the Sam and the David. So David, expressions are different. The moment you drop the identification with the body, there is no time and space. Time and space only exist because I am the body. You see that? So we are doing the practice every week, so the greater we'll find that all these experiences come to oneness. That's a beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good. The meditation for me was all about the space. So
that's good.
I heard you, but it was just the space. Like when you asked us to focus on different areas, I really was only seeing the space.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I must. I also, let me talk a little bit. Just ask your mind. I become aware of the infinite space, what it means. I give you a clue and think it over this week. The space is awareness and the awareness is space. There cannot be the infinite space without awareness. What is that space? This is awareness. And what is awareness? This is all space. according to the teaching of the Eastern wisdom. I'm not going to the science. Otherwise, what will happen? Those scientists will create even a hole in the consciousness. There is no hole in the consciousness. No, I'm just kidding. I have studied physics and science, I have a fascination for it. But let the science focus on the objective reality. Our goal is to find the subjective reality. Who am I? And stop there. How are you, my friend Terry?
It was also really